Hello and welcome. My name is Noreen, certified professional with Corporate Fitness Works, and I'm here to bring you some slow flow yoga. So all you're going to need for today's practice is going to be a mat and some water as well. Make sure that you have plenty of space around you to move in, and as well, make sure that you listen to your body. If you feel pain or discomfort at any point during our session, immediately stop and consult your healthcare provider. So with that being said, let's gently close our eyes and inhale through the nose and exhale out of the mouth. Building your breath to be more audible than your thoughts, continue. Inhale, expanding the ribs all the way to the shoulders. Exhale, decompress everything, pushing the air out of the mouth. Inhale deeper through the nose. Exhale fully out of the mouth. And with the eyes closed, bring your breathing back to your normal inhales and exhales out your nose. And as you focus with a tall spine, elevate your crown to the sky. Take a moment to disengage from the past, from the future, and breathe in the present. As you inhale, a taller spine, lift the back of the ears. And as you exhale, soften the jaw and the shoulders. And with your palms together, setting your intentions for your practice, whether you want to go a little bit more today in flexibility or you want to take it easy, deciding that here with a smile, namaste, namaste. And now gently rest your hands onto your lap. And in your comfortable, easy position, inhale a tall spine. Exhale the chin to the heart, lengthen the back of the ears. Deep breaths here. And then begin to bring that left ear over the left shoulder. And stay here for a moment, exhaling the shoulders away. Deep breaths as you inhale length on that side, exhale depth in the stretch. And then gently inhale, exhale your chin back to your heart. Take a moment to recenter here. Exhale the length in the back of the neck. And then gently inhale, right ear over the right shoulder. Exhale, shoulders lower. Continue here to breathe. And exhale depth. Really trying to bend that side on the right, lengthen that left side of the neck. And now we're going to inhale, bring it back, chin to the heart. And inhaling, the hands above you, interlace, exhale the hands, weight gently on the back of the head. Let those elbows soften. With a tall spine, heart lifted above the belly, exhale. Bringing everything in towards the heart, elbows, chin, nose. Deep breathing here. And then begin to take the interlaced fingers underneath the chin and gently press up for a counter stretch, looking up. Very good. And keeping your fingers interlaced, just wave it out. Releasing the wrist, preparing them for our yoga, as we do a lot of standing on our wrist in yoga. So as you do this, try to reverse the wave, the direction of it. You can hear my knuckles cracking. Deep breaths. This wave is a lot choppier. That's okay. And then taking one more wave here, begin to inhale, press fingers out. And taking them above, exhale, tall spine. And then as you inhale, find a side bend. Gazing up at the sky, exhale, length. Inhale, center. And then exhale, side bend, other side, gazing up on that right side. And then inhale, arms stay up. Taking a moment, reset. Inhale, begin to bring the belly up, lengthen the back into a slight back bend like an upright cow. And then exhale, hollow it out, cat. Round the spine, tuck the navel in, and then inhale, cow. Exhale, round it out, cat. So really exaggerate the curve of the spine forward in your cow inhale. And then exhale, rounding it out. One more time, inhaling, arms up. Big back bend. Exhale, Haul the breath out. And begin to take your hands to the sides. Inhale your shoulders to your ears. Exhale low. And then inhale arms up. Exhale palms in prayer. Another wrist release. Let's begin to take the thumbs to one armpit. And now gently point the fingertips to the armpit, straight line with the elbows and the forearms. Exhale, shoulders are low. Very good. And now recenter. Exhale, shoulders are low. And now take it to the other side. Heart lifted, spacious belly. Pointing to that armpit. One more breath here. Exhale, shoulders low. Wonderful. And now we're going to take those hands out in front of you, pointing your palms away from each other. Interlace the fingers behind you for chest expansion. Lift your heart, lift your gaze to the sky. Deep breaths. Really pointing your heart to the sky as high as you can lift it, tilting the tailbone out. And then round it out. Hug yourself. And take a moment here. And as you hug yourself, begin to take that right arm over the left. Left over the right. And so that we have that left on the top, we're going to wrap it around in your eagle arms. And so if eagle arms is not comfortable for you, you can simply hug yourself and lift those elbows. You can wrap it around, or you can just not wrap it around and elevate those fingertips. Totally up to you how you want to choose your eagle. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sink the shoulder blades. Keep your heart lifted. And then one more breath here. As you can see from the side, I'm trying to create a right degree angle with those eagle arms. Triceps parallel to the floor. And as you relax, unlace, inhale, arms up. As you unravel, taking your hands in front of you. And now we're going to take that right arm on top, hug yourself. Taking a deep breath here, begin to find your eagle arms, wrapping it around. And again, if you prefer just to keep those elbows lifted, that's good. Or if you want to just not keep them raveled, you still have your eagle arms. A really great stretch for the shoulders if you are like me and I hold my stress in my shoulders. Inhale, lengthen, gaze above the fingertips. Exhale, length and depth, ears away from the shoulders. One more breath here. And soften. Wonderful. Now we're going to take a moment to find our tabletop, so let's do that. And in tabletop, we're going to take a moment to inhale your cow once again, chin and tailbone high. Exhale, chin and tailbone in for your cat, round it out. Inhale, cow. Exhale, round it out, push the breath. Your cat. Inhale, tuck your toes, cow, make it deeper. Exhale, flatten feet, cat. One more time, you got this. Inhale, cow. Shoulders far, far away from those ears, gazing high. Exhale, cat. Shoulders right next to those ears. And relax. Wonderful. Take a moment here and walk those palms away from you so that you can sink your hips. Walk the palms away, lower your armpits to your puppy pose. And now puppy pose is a really great stretch for the heart space, so the space in front of the heart. So let's take a moment here. If you want to make it a little bit harder, you can hold your hands farther, try to reach your heart to the ground. And as you do so, you can either have your forehead down or your chin down, but make sure that all the weight is in those forearms and the back knees. Deep breaths. Tilting tailbone high. And one more breath here. And as you take a moment, we're going to come back to our tabletop, one hand at a time. And then reset. Take a moment and inhale your right arm to the sky. And as you exhale, thread your right arm through. And so we're pressing the back of that right hand against the ground. We're going to bring that right ear to the ground. And that left palm is right in front of our face. We're pressing against the ground to rotate your gaze and your heart to the sky. Deep breaths as we thread the arms. And then if this feels good, you also have the option to open up with that left hand, or you can plant on the back of the lower thigh, or wrap it to the top of the opposite thigh. Make sure those hips stay stacked above those knees, gazing up. Deep breaths. Level hips, level shoulders, level knees. One more breath here. Exhale, you're twisting your heart a little bit more. And now you can either stay here with the hand planted down, or you can make it a little deeper in the hips by extending that leg to the side on the left. So here, as you can see, my foot is planted, it's in line with that heel. And I have the eye of the needle here. So as I take my hips high, maybe this left hand plants above, gazing above you for what's called a rolling panda. And so really loosen that spine, send the hips up, gazing underneath that armpit. Good work. Keeping that left leg extended, go back to your threaded arms. And as you press with the left hand into the mat, keep that leg extended to the side. And now find a puppy pose with that single leg extended. Try to make sure you can see. Hips elevated. And the outer edge of this foot is rooted into your mat or the ground. Deep breaths here, great stretch for the hips and shoulders. And from there, come all the way back up into your tabletop arms and stack into the hips. So that you can see, this is where we're going here. So we're fully stacked. We're engaging the glutes to press the hips forward. Inhale, arms lengthen. And then exhale, reach with side bend first. And then take that left hand down to the left leg. As you press your hips forward, a slight back bend and a full gate pose. Deep breaths. You can slide that hand farther down if it feels good. A nice lateral stretch. And now, beginning back to where we started, we're going to take that right hand underneath the right shoulder. And we're going to raise that left arm up and over for a counter gate pose. Open your heart and hips to the sky. Press your belly button forward. Deep breaths here. If it feels good, you can even take the back of the hand to the head on the left side. One more breath here. And now step gently back into your original gate pose. And then from there, lower back to your hands and then find your tabletop. As we're going to prepare to do that on the other side, take a moment here. And so we want to make sure with a neutral spine, we can take that right arm up and then exhale, thread it through. And gently begin to take those hips with the tailbone pointing to the sky, shoulders stacked, and try to press with that right palm into the mat to raise your gaze to the sky. Every exhale, find depth in your twist. Good work here. We have that right ear to the ground as if we're listening to our mat. Good work. If you opened the hand for your twist, let's go ahead and do that, or match that hand on top of the opposite thigh, still gazing up, chin far from the shoulder. Every exhale, finding depth. Pressing with the outer edge of that right hand. Good work here, and smile. A great twist with the shoulders. And now we have the option to take that right hand back down and then extend on the same side leg. And now open out to the sky. Good work here. If it felt good for your rolling panda, bring that hand above and gazing underneath the armpit. Deep breaths. Almost like you're going to roll over like a panda. Good work here. And one more breath, opening heart to the sky a little bit further. And now gently plant, right palm back. Keep your right leg extended and find a puppy here with the arms. And so you can see, leg is extended to the side, heel in line with that back knee, and then walk those hands away, sink your hips, feel that deep stretch. I'm gonna turn so you can see as you join me in this really awesome puppy here. Deep breaths. If you can sink your heart lower to the mat, go for it. Try to close the space between the floor and your armpits. And really drive down with the heart to the earth. That's why it's called heart chakra pose. Good work. One more breath here. And let's prepare to stack up into your tabletop arms. And now back into a full position ready for gate so that we have the, the left knee underneath the left shoulder. Let's begin to inhale, arms up. Exhale that side bend to that side. Open the heart, press those hips forward. Knee is soft, never locked. Try and make it lateral and then the back bend. Deep breaths. Take a moment to try to close that space a little bit more. And now let's lengthen out through the palm. Here we go. And now you're in your gate pose. You have plenty of space to lengthen. Open the heart, maybe find your slight back bend. So if you have to, scoot forward if you want to get a back bend like me. Deep breaths. And now gently find your original gate pose. And then let's find a tabletop. And from our tabletop, we're going to tuck our toes and find a downward facing dog. So hips up, walk those dog legs. Walk in the dog. Deep breaths. Take a moment to really bend each leg, softening the other one. Try to drive the opposite heel down. Taking a moment to look under that opposite armpit. Very good. Deep breaths. Alternate the lift of the heel and look under. Opposite side. And now finding your full downward facing dog. Let's begin to take that right leg, three-legged dog. And then taking a moment here, looking between the space of your hands, plant that foot to a lunge, lower the back heel, back knee, and let those toes lengthen. And taking a moment here in a lunge. Sink the hips, lift the gaze. We're gonna find a twist. So anchoring your left hand, open up with a right arm extending for a nice twist here. Sink those hips. Very good. And now find the original lunge. Very good. And then taking a moment here, sink those hips a little bit more. And then from here, we're going to take a moment and extend the back leg, lifting into a high lunge. Scoot your right foot behind your left hand, and then lower the right knee. Find a pigeon and try to get the top of that left hip to the earth. And if you can keep your pigeon leg out, that's great, like a right degree angle, that's good. But if you have to keep it in to modify, that's okay. Let's begin to inhale, arms above us. And then exhale, a sleeping pigeon. Ooh. Take a moment here. Try to melt all the tension on that left side. Sink those hips. Surrender hips and shoulders to your pigeon. Deep breaths here. And if you want something more intense, you can walk your palms off to the left side, bring your heart over that right foot. That's a spicy meatball. Be careful if you try. Enter with caution. Every day is different. Wonderful. If in a pigeon you want to find a bind, you can lengthen and extend that left heel to the sky. You grab it with that left hand. If that feels good, you can stay there, or you can just simply keep that heel lifted, flexed. Get a good active stretch there. Or if you want to go a little bit farther, if you can reach that back foot, you can start here. If you can get your head underneath, awesome. And if you can rotate that other elbow to the sky, even better. Deep breaths here. And one more inhale, lengthen the heart to the sky. Exhale, very graceful, sleeping pigeon, releasing that back foot lower down. And as you prepare to inhale, plant your hands, tuck the back left foot, and lift into a three-legged dog with that right foot in the sky. And as you do this, pressing with those palms and that left foot, you can stack that right heel over to the left side in a wild thing. Looking underneath the armpit of that right side. And then gently rotate to a downward facing dog, walk it out. Shake it out. Preparing next to inhale your left leg to the sky. Deep breaths here, square hips and square shoulders to the ground. Inhale, lengthen the heel. Exhale, plant that heel in between the hands and lower your right knee. Very good. Start here, sink the hips, lift the head by looking up so you can soften the back of the neck. Good work here. Keep that knee on top of the heel, leaning towards your second toe. And then plant the right hand, open up with the left in a twist. Sink those hips a little bit, maybe the bottom of the foot opens. Deep breaths. And then back to your lunge. Sink those hips a little bit more, gazing up high. You can always increase the resistance in your lunge by bringing a bigger distance between the front foot and the back knee. So I'm feeling crazy. I guess I can go back a little. Deep breaths here. And now we're going to tuck that back right foot in to lengthen into a high lunge. And bring left foot behind right hand, lower down into your pigeon. Work it so that you're comfortable and your heel is as far away from you as is comfortable as well. So it took me years to get my shin perpendicular to me in my pigeon. So if that's too intense, keep that heel in a little bit closer, but slowly maybe working it out. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sleeping pigeon. Melt the right side of your body into the mat. Deep breaths. Melt that lower back into your pigeon tail. Surrender hips and shoulders. Try an 8-count inhale. Match it with an 8-count exhale. Good work. And if you made it a little bit more intense, you can add that hot sauce to your pigeon by scooting your hands and your heart to the right side over the left foot. Hang out here, smile. Unless you're, getting the most out of your pigeon, you're probably not smiling. And it's amazing the faces that all of us yogis make in the pose, but how different we feel on the inside than how we look on the outside. So let's take a moment here. And if you want to stay, you can. If you want to find an active stretch, you can curl that heel towards your glute. Or maybe you can reach it with that right hand. If this is good, stay. Deep breaths. I'm feeling that this side is not as flexible, so I'm going to take it a little bit easier. But if it feels good, you can also grab it with that other hand. And if you can, rotate your head underneath, bringing elbows high. Good work. You can also use your forearm as a length if you can't grab with both hands, but try to keep the hips square to the ground, heart lifted, and pelvis underneath you. And a deep breath here, smile. One more bonus breath. And gently lowering down to your initial pigeon. As we prepare on the next inhale, plant your feet, tucking that back right foot, plant your hands, lift into a three-legged dog with that left foot in the sky, and take a moment to work yourself into that comfortable position. And as you find yourself here with that right leg planted, left leg in the sky, go ahead and bring that left leg towards the right side. Open the hips in a wild thing, look underneath the shoulder, all the weight tipping into the right hand and the right foot. And gently lower into a down dog, walk it out. Good work. And then from here, we're going to take a moment to lower, bending the knees first, gently lower them to the mat. And as you lower your knees to the mat, we're going to take a moment to lower the belly to the mat as well. So bend those elbows and gently find yourself here in this new environment. A great opportunity for water if you'd like. And take a deep breath. If you would like to reset with a little bit of movement, you have those heels and find windshield wipers. We're going to do a little bit of work on the back. Deep breaths. Good work. So to start with the back, we are going to do a very good preliminary back bend. And always listen to your back and listen to how you feel. It is okay to take child's pose for the rest of your yoga class because you still do yoga. So let's take a moment and with the hands underneath the shoulders, elbows tight towards the ribs, biceps spiraling out, begin to press into the mat with your palms and lift so that you can plant your elbows exactly underneath your shoulders. Middle fingers are parallel and they go in line with the elbows. Begin to take a lift to the back of the ears and your gaze forward. As you lengthen the back of your neck, you'll feel the deeper stretch in the lower back, pressing firmly away from the ground. Here you have a nice sphinx and your toes are pointing, your feet are parallel as well as your hands. And we're going to stay here for just 3 more breaths. Inhale, length, exhale, depth away from the ground. Continue to keep the back of the neck long. Bonus breath, smile. And as you press into the ground, lower yourself and gently raise your feet for your windshield wipers. Good work. And so, now that we're warmed up, we're going to go into a single-legged bow. So, let us begin. Starting like a sphinx, we're going to plant our hands just as such. And then we're going to take your right hand and bring it perpendicular to you. Left hand then is going to reach for that left foot. Your hand is on the outside of that foot, and we're going to kick into the hand to lift the heart. Here in a single-legged bow. Deep breaths. Really kicking into the palm. Maybe you flex the feet. You grab the ankle. Deep breaths. And one more breath here. Exhale, release. And find the ground and find your windshield wipers, taking a breath. We're going to do that on the other side, and then we're going to go full bow. So if you just prefer one or the other, or less range of motion, or just sphinx, you can totally go with any variation. This is your yoga practice. Alrighty, so let's begin to inhale. Peel the spine up away from the ground. Find your sphinx arms. Left arm goes in, perpendicular, and we find right hand holding the right ankle. Kick into your hand. Deep breaths here. Open the heart to the sky. Press off the ground. Find length in the spine from tailbone to crown. Good work. One more breath here, you got it. And release. Reset. Recenter. Revisit those intentions we set at the beginning of class. If we want to go a little bit harder, a little less, good opportunity to find that answer. And so from here, we are going to prepare to not do the sphinx arms, but to simply grab the foot or the ankle of each leg. And as you inhale, kicking into your hands, shoulder blades far from the ears, maybe you can lift those thighs off the ground. Keep everything tight towards the center. Try to refrain from opening up. Keep those thighs zipped. Everything lengthened, and maybe you can rock a little bit. Maybe your back breath rocks you. And one more breath here. And gently lower. Very good. Pressing your palms into the ground. Hug your thighs together, knees together or touching. We're going to press and find a child's pose. As the knees touch, we are releasing the lower back. Deep breaths. And as you stay here, you may even like the idea of flipping your palms to the sky. Or maybe even bringing them above your head. Good work. We're almost done with our back bends. We're going to come into one more pose here. But recenter, take your time. Try to melt into the ground with that lower back. Very good. And gently flipping the palms if you did. We're going to take our regular child's pose stance. And we're going to inhale and exhale, gently lower yourself to the earth. Our next pose is going to be a preliminary scorpion. So we're going to hug the ground with T-shaped arms. And then we're going to take that right foot. I'm going to try to keep your chest completely planted to the earth, hips planted to the earth. And then as you raise your right heel, the hips kind of come off, but keep your chest planted. Reach your right heel to that left hand. Deep breaths. Maybe you can grab it, maybe you can't. Deep breaths. Try to keep your shoulders anchored. And then return it back to your regular stance. Good work. Take a deep breath. And as you exhale, reset. Inhale, peel the left leg up, reaching it over to that right side. And this side likes it a lot more. Try to keep the shoulders planted. Deep breaths. And then gently find your initial position. Plant the hands into the ground, press into your child's pose. Good work here. Breathe. Fabulous. Now we're going to take a moment to find a tabletop. And then we're going to cross our ankles and extend our legs so that we can be in a supine position where we're facing the sky. A great opportunity to drink some water. Good work. Alrighty, so we are going to begin by keeping your feet planted. Roll down one vertebra at a time. Flatten those shoulder blades to your mat. Scoot your feet close to you. And we're going to inhale, hug your left knee into your heart. And then begin to extend the right leg. Good work. And taking a moment, extend the left leg to the sky, hugging the back of that calf. And with your peace fingers, your middle and index finger, you can either grab your big toe, or you can grab the outside of that foot. Your knee can totally be bent. And now begin to anchor right hand down and open out to that left side with an extension. Here we have a nice leg extension. So if your knees are bent, that's good. You're still getting a great stretch. If you want to extend that heel and find straight legs, it's a little harder, but make sure that your knees are never locked. Deep breaths. And then keeping your leg extended, whether or not it's bent, bring it up center. With the right hand grabbing that left foot, anchor left hand, and bring it across the body. Try to keep those shoulders planted if possible. A great stretch for runners. Good work. If you can reach the ground, that's great. If you're just above it, that's okay. We're going to take a moment to inhale, bring that left leg center. Hug your head gently, extending it to that knee, and lower down. We're going to hug this left leg in. So right hand grabs the outside of that left ankle, like an upside down pigeon. Left hand hugs that left knee in. Deep stretch here. Try to bring the knee out towards that left shoulder. And then from here, plant the foot. Keeping your foot planted, we're going to bring it across in a spinal twist. Spinal twists are really good for the digestive system, massaging out those organs. And so now we're going to find our foot center. Replant your shoulder blades to be flat to your mat, and then have both feet close to you. Hug in that right knee. Ooh, the side's tight. And as you do so, extend that left leg. Good work. And extending it above. Take it center so that you can begin to try to grab that right big toe with your right peace fingers or your right hand outside that right arch. And now planting that left hand open out to the right in an extended leg or leg extension, reclined. Make sure to keep that knee bent if it's hurting. That's just your body saying, please bend me. And if you are bending, try to bring that knee towards your armpit on that right side. And now gently inhale at center, grabbing it with the left peace fingers. Anchor right hand down, find your cross body. Twist here, looking the other direction. Just for a couple breaths. Smile. And then gently come center. Hug your head to that knee. Deep breaths. And now gently grab that right ankle on the outside of it with that left hand. Hug that right knee in. A great runner stretch for the piriformis. Like an upside down pigeon. Hug that heel towards that shoulder on the right side. The left side, sorry. Right heel towards left shoulder. Wonderful. And now we're going to take a moment to bring both knees into your heart and draw circles with your knees to massage that lower back. Wonderful. And then other direction. Let's be sure to not forget that spinal twist on the other side. So extend left leg, anchor right arm, and bring that right knee over to the left side. Deep breaths here, bringing out tension. And then hugging those knees back to the heart. Almost there. We're going to take a moment, planting the feet onto the ground. Resituate the shoulders to be flat. And now take one foot up at a time to the sky. A nice easy inversion here. Keep those legs extended so that you have the knees above the hips and the ankles above the knees. Deep breaths. Good work. Maybe you can pedal out those feet. Maybe you can cycle those ankles out. A little circle in each direction. And maybe you can grab those big toes and a happy baby. Nice bent knees, not focusing on what we look like as a happy baby, but how we feel like. Nice hips. And we're gently going to bring those feet center, lowering your hands, lowering one foot at a time. The feet find each other together in either butterfly, or you can kick your legs out in a regular savasana. As you blink the eyes closed, take a moment and inhale to the belly for an 8 count. Matching an equal exhale, 8 count. Ujjayi breath, inhale. Ujjayi breath is the ocean's breath. And so as you inhale through the nose, exhale from the heat in the back of your throat, creating a ha sound. Just making your breaths audible, closing your practice. And gently rolling onto your right side. Form a pillow with your arms curling in a fetal position. As we gently prepare, smiling with the eyes closed, take that left palm into the ground. Find your comfortable seated position on your mat. And as you blink the eyes open, thank you so much for sharing your yoga practice with me today. Again, my name is Noreen, and if you have any feedback, please let us know. We'd love to make the classes more for you. So whatever you have to say, good or bad, we'd love to hear it. And thank you so much for sharing your time with us. As we bring our palms together, the thumbs touch the heart to remind us to carry love into all of the practices. And we take our thumbs from our heart center to our third eye down. Namaste. Namaste, everybody. Thank you so much.